Nozomu Bountis was in a tough spot, standing in the middle of Soliminati Academy. This place was like a magnet for dreamers from all over, a school where only the best of the best could stay. Nozomu had somehow made it through 2 whole years. He remembered arriving here with his childhood friends, Ken Notice and Lisa Hounds, all pumped up and ready for a big adventure. Lisa wasn't just any friend, she was Nozomu's first crush, the kind that makes your heart do backflips. Their story kicked off back in their little village, a cozy spot known for its good vibes and great crops. It was by the village lake where Nozomu's world turned upside down. Lisa, with her big smile and curious eyes, came into his life like a breath of fresh air. She had been all over the place with her mom after her dad, an adventurer, had passed away. Dreaming of stepping into her dad's adventurous shoes, Lisa set her sights on Soliminati Academy. Nozomu, head over heels, promised to stick by her side, dreaming of supporting her through thick and thin. But life at the academy was no walk in the park. Nozomu was on the outskirts, easy prey for bullies like Mars Dickon, who loved to make his life miserable. What hurt more, though, was how things changed between him and Lisa. She was acing everything, becoming the red-haired princesses of the academy, while Nozomu felt left in the dust. Things got even worse when rumors flew around that Nozomu had betrayed Lisa. He tried to clear the air, but no one was buying it. Lisa's cold looks cut deeper than any insult, leaving Nozomu feeling more alone than ever. Just when he thought it couldn't get any rougher, he saw Lisa hanging out with Ken, looking like they didn't have a care in the world. It was like a punch to the gut, seeing her laugh and smile with someone else, making it clear he was no longer a part of her world. One day, a mock battle was held at the academy. The cunning Mars Dickon took his opportunity to ask Nozomu as his partner. His weapon is a unique katana that specializes in cutting and stabbing its opponent. As someone like him who couldn't rely on magical enhancement, the blade is a perfect par for him because he could focus on his raw technique instead. Dickon viciously swung his sword, trying to finish him in a single strike. However, he managed to parry it just in time. The duel was very intense because none of them were willing to give up as their pride lies. Dickon's weapon of choice is a magic sword that uses one's life force and enhances the user's physical abilities. He swings his sword wildly, wanting to finish Nozomu quickly. However, he easily blocks and dodges each of his swings. Dickon's patience has run out. He screamed very loud, stating that he should get the hell out of his face already. Unfortunately for him, Nozomu is a resilient one. He refuses to give up despite him being an advantage. In the end, he lost the duel from physical strength alone. When he woke up, he was greeted by the school's doctor named Norn Altina. His visits to the clinic is nothing unusual, as this always happens every mock battle. He thanked her for the help as usual, and Altina told him just to feel at ease because it was her duty to help all of the students. A woman started rushing into the clinic asking how he was doing. The woman's name is Henri Var. She is the 10th homeroom teacher at the academy. Altina and her were obviously good friends in and outside the academy. Henri approaches our hero with her bubbly eye asking if he was all right. He assured her that there's no need to worry because he's fine. He blushes so hard because her face is too close, so he asks her if she could step back for a bit. However, she's still stubborn, so Altina told her that although he suffered bruises on his chest and back, along with a mild concussion, it is expected that the pain will subside soon. The school bell then rang announcing that the classes were finally over. He thanked them and tried to leave as soon as possible. They noticed that he was in a rush, so they asked him if he was going to the forest. He gave them the straight answer yes. They warned him not to go alone because even the knights were having trouble going to the forest. However, he did not listen and went alone. Altina told her that she had fallen to the bottom of his class and has been ridiculed since. This all started due to a rare ability that he manifested in his first year. That rare ability is called suppression. Despite being rare, the ability did not benefit him at all but rather hindered him severely. Because that ability makes the enhancement that he receives weaker compared to the full potential. What's worse is that for our hero, the ability that's being suppressed within him is physical ability. Ever since then, he always leaves right after his wounds heal, to head out into the forest to train all by himself. Altina added that after a thorough examination of his body, she could tell that he underwent rigorous training regimens, due to the fact that he has no extra body fat on his body. And, for that reason, she finds herself almost quitting her job. Because as a doctor it pains her to see someone so young to experience something like this. Back to our hero, we get to see him having a spar with a certain person. He struggled against him as he couldn't land a single blow. However, our hero has a heart. Using both of his hands he wields his blade with conviction and determination. Just when he was about to be finished by the mysterious person, he uses the Chi instant dash technique for positional reset. However, the mysterious person uses the same technique, and what's more, he did it better and faster. The mysterious person then uses the phantom slash technique, an attack that is compressed of Chi, which makes the attack hard to see coming. Our hero addresses the mysterious person as Master, as he asks him if he is trying to kill him. The Master replied, "If I wanted to kill you, I would have struck you down the moment you tried to escape." Our hero lost his balance from the Master's raw physical strength alone. His back is against the floor, so he uses the Chi instant dash technique once again, so he can escape. However, the same trick won't work twice against his master. He was in shock when his master's sword was already pointing towards him, indicating that he lost the fight. The master's name is Shino, and just like him, she traveled into the woods trying to continuously hone her skill. Master Shino stated that he acted too hastily, so he suggested that he should learn something from his defeat. Our hero, however, is in denial. He replied that only someone like her could react so quickly at such a close range. To wake him up from his delusions, Master Shino told him that anyone could easily read his moves, because his last attack is nothing but a half-assed attempt. Anyway, now that the training session is over, Master Shino invited our hero to spend dinner with her. Our hero sighs loudly as he states that he has no choice but to obey his master. Flashback to when our hero and Master Shino first met. She saw him training in the forest, having a pale and lifeless look on his face. So, she decided to approach him to tell him that it's pointless trying to train that way. However, our hero doesn't care. He instead tells her that he won't go back until he earns some respect. Just by looking at his lifeless clouded eyes, Master Shino was reminded of him as a starving beggar on death's door. Our hero kept on training until it got to the point that he got surrounded by demon dogs. Back to the present, while our hero was searching for a beast that they could use as a dish, he suddenly heard an explosion, which is rather unusual because it's very unlikely that a person would come into the forest. Also, judging by the sound of the explosion, he guessed that they might be dealing with a beast-type demon, which is completely different from the demon dogs that he fought before. So, he took the courage to go out and check on what kind of demon they were dealing with. There he saw two humongous demonic bears, a type of beast that doesn't travel in pairs. However, this one wasn't the case. So, he deducted that the two must be brothers. One demonic bear alone is already considered a rank B threat. Our hero's eyes widened when she saw that the bears were against a student just like him. The woman is none other than Iris Dina Franchild, known as the Midnight Princess due to her being as dark as the midnight sky. He then noticed that she had a companion named Thelma Lime, a well-known powerful mage in the academy. Just by Thelma's power alone, she already surpasses the academy teachers in magical strength. Thelma cast the Wind Vortex spell, a magical spell that could slice its target in an instant. It is also considered an intermediate level spell. Our hero was in awe as he witnessed how quickly they finished the two demonic bears. But then, Thelma's eyes suddenly filled with fear as she was caught off guard when another demonic bear lurking behind her. Naturally, our hero immediately joins the battlefield, saving Thelma from further harm. While he was panting heavily, Thelma thanked him for the rescue. She also apologized that she wasn't paying attention. Iris then approached him asking if he wasn't hurt. He was mesmerized when he saw gorgeous Iris's face in close-up. Master Shino watches him closely as Iris introduces herself to him. Seeing her disciple getting close to someone the same age as him makes her happy. Thelma Lime, who is extremely introverted, took the courage to introduce herself to our hero. On her behalf, Iris apologizes for having a skittish classmate. Nonetheless, she still treats him as her best friend. Our hero's eyes widened when they told him that judging by his looks, he's another student from the academy just like them. His anxiety starts running wild inside his head, because they could turn their back on him in an instant once they knew his status inside the academy. He thinks that it would be wiser if he avoided telling them his name. However, it would be rather impolite to not tell them his name. He swallowed his own pride and tried to introduce himself as proudly as he could that he was Nozomu Bountis from the 10th rank class. But rather than receiving negative comments from them, Iris stated that she finds it suspicious that a 10th rank is alone inside this wicked forest. So, she asked where is the rest of his party. They were completely in shock when our hero told them that he wasn't under any party. Because even if he wanted to, no one wants to work with someone like him, he added. Iris finds it weird that no one wouldn't want him to their party, because someone like him who has the ability to survive in the forest alone is incredibly rare. Our hero clenched his fist tightly and screamed at the top of his lungs. He came here to make himself stronger, and no matter how minor the change is, he will gladly accept it as long as he improves. Our hero then asked them about their business inside the forest. He was astonished when Iris told him that they received a request from the guild itself. And that is a beast dragon had started roaming around the forest. Unfortunately, no one took the rumors seriously enough. However, they couldn't let the rumor go uninvestigated on the off chance that there was actually one lurking around. Iris cheerfully offered him if he wanted to take the loot they got from the demonic bears. Our hero gladly accepts, but he only takes a little bit of meat for his dinner with Master Shino. After they parted ways, Iris asked Felma why she behaved more timidly than last time. She replied, "It is because he is the rumored man who cheated on Lisa. Furthermore, it is also rumored that he only wishes for Lisa's body and nothing more." However, for Iris it seems like he wasn't that kind of man. At night, Iris couldn't sleep properly. She kept thinking about our hero and the speed of his swordsmanship. Also, she's worried about him because he's alone out there while the demonic beast is in full swing. She then gave us a bright smile, asking what kind of man our hero truly is. As usual, our hero is spending his time alone inside the academy. He's also struggling financially, which means he has to make it by doing hunts. While he was eating his lunch peacefully under a cool shade of a tree, he saw a woman who seemed to be in trouble. He calls for the attention of that woman and asked her if he could help her. And he was shocked when he saw her face because he felt like he had already seen her somewhere before. While she was playing with a cat during lunch break, the cat suddenly took something from her possession. No matter how much she tries to persuade the cat to give it back, the cat just won't listen. So, our hero rolled up his sleeve to climb up the tree where the cat was staying. Just when he was about to take a bracelet from the cat hisses at him very loudly and does a 10-hit slash combo on his face. He took that as a declaration of war against him, so he did not hold back against the cat. But then the branch suddenly broke in half. Fortunately, he managed to save the cat from harm. The woman radiantly smiled at our hero and thanked him for his help. She introduces herself, and her name is Somiliana. The two immediately became close and started calling each other on a first-name basis. While they were having their wholesome moment, the bell suddenly rang indicating the resumed classes. While their professor is discussing the task, our hero is sitting in a corner alone as usual. He then noticed that the other class was having a mock battle. He was surprised when he saw Iris was having a duel with his ex-girlfriend Lisa. "It's already been a year since I last saw her," he stated. So he was looking forward to how much she improved since then. He was captivated by how fast and fluid Lisa was with his offensive skills. However, Iris easily counterattacks it using Phantom Bullet skill. He couldn't do a single blink due to how amazing the sparring was. Iris, who is under a lot of pressure, is holding out against Lisa's monstrous momentum. However, dodging alone won't be enough if you cannot hit your opponent. Just by simply observing, it seemed to him that Lisa completely had the upper hand in the fight. But then, the unthinkable happened. Iris managed to break Lisa's momentum without casting anything. He did not expect that it was possible for Iris to have the ability to fight with her sword and cast magic simultaneously. The two continuously bolt at each other, never taking a step back. Each of Lisa's strikes causes violent winds around the arena. In addition, she was causing afterimages of herself as she attacked. He then observed something unusual from the duel, and that is Lisa distancing herself away from Iris. To his surprise, Lisa started casting an incredible magic spell to finish Iris once and for all. He couldn't help but feel amused, because the spell was not something that any other sorcerers could use. The spell is almost as powerful as Felma's wind vortex. However, Iris did not flinch at all. She took his stance and nullified the spell in an instant. Everyone in the arena was in awe, especially our hero. Because it was as if they were watching two professional adventurers fighting each other. At the same time, he couldn't help but feel pity for himself as he was not even half as powerful as them. He grits his teeth very hard, as he asks himself what went wrong. And how come Lisa can be that strong? Lisa smiled at Iris as she asked her how long has she been preparing for that kind of attack. Iris gave her a cold reply stating she had done it since the start of their fight. She explained that because of her barbaric attacks, it took her longer than usual to prepare for them. Because she has to focus on the battle simultaneously, otherwise she might get the better of her. Lisa took her statement in a mature way, saying that she would take that as a compliment. Inside Iris's mind, she's thinking about our hero and Lisa's past relationship. Additionally, she heard that Lisa had started dating our hero's own best friend. She doesn't want to judge them as she does not know them personally, still she couldn't help but feel curious. She then got reminded that he was their hero instantly arrived to save her best friend. She couldn't help to wonder how he did it. She then saw our hero watching her from afar, so she tried to get his attention by waving at him. However, our hero just ignored her. She couldn't help but feel bothered. We then get to see our hero feeling heartbroken. He starts asking himself why she left him for his own best friend. This is very contradicting because he also asked himself why he can't just move on. Those are the kind of thoughts that constantly run through inside our hero's mind. Although he knew that being pessimistic was wrong. However, that is the only defense he has left in this shattered heart of his. Later on, Somiliana pops into the picture along with Shadow the cat. It turns out that Shadow escaped during her afternoon practical training class. So she decided to search for him, resulting in her bumping into him coincidentally. Seeing Somiliana looked alright, our hero stated that he would take his leave. However, Somiliana prevented him from doing so. She asked him with her innocent look whether she would be able to see him again tomorrow. She stated that she would like to return his kindness. In addition to that, she feels like it would be nice if she could talk to him more. Our hero did not know how to react to her statement, because it was the first time someone had offered to see him without the intention of bullying him. Seeing our hero in her cute bubbly eyes made our hero accept her proposal. He stated that couldn't meet her up after school, so they could meet during lunch. Despite that, Somiliana smiled at him brightly, stating that she was glad for accepting her proposal. At night, Somiliana is having her nightly practice routine. She is feeling frustrated with herself because she wasn't as good as her sister. Her sister then pops up into the picture, and it is none other than Iris. Iris noticed that she was having trouble, so she offered her some help. She noticed that she was trying to practice a light magic spell. Somiliana is in awe as her sister demonstrates a light magic spell known as Torch. While they were practicing, Iris noticed that her little sister looked happier lately. So, she asked, "Did something good happen lately?" She replied, "Yes, because I've made a new friend recently." She stated that this new friend of hers has a very sad look on his face, despite that he's very kind. Just by listening to her sister, Iris was reminded of our hero Bountis. Somiliana then asked her sister how things were going for her recently. She then saw her sister lost in thought after asking that question. That shocked the little Somiliana, because it is unusual for her sister to be interested in someone. She stated that it was because the man had something that better than what she had. The next day, our hero spent his lunch along with Somiliana. Somiliana then asked him about his life inside the academy. Our hero replied with a depressed look on his face that he was under the lowest rank. Rather than sympathizing with him, Somiliana just smiled at him, stating that she was the same. Our hero then asked her about the bracelet. She replied that the bracelet had been handed out to her by her family for generations. She added that the bracelet came from her sister as her birthday present last year. Our hero feels very lighthearted after hearing that, so he asks, "When is your birthday?" Later, Somiliana's sister arrived. Our hero's eyes widened when he realized that her sister was none other than Iris. Our hero felt stupid because he should have known that her bracelet was something that no ordinary commoner would have. On top of that, she also has dark black hair which is very identical to Iris. Iris then approached our hero and offered him to join them on their lunch. However, our hero thinks that he is undeserving. Because, unlike Iris who is worshipped by other students, he is a useless good-for-nothing loser. So, he denied their offer. However, Somiliana just smiled at her and held his hand. Iris knew that our hero was not comfortable around other people. So, they decided to just spend their lunch under a secluded tree, so our hero wouldn't feel uncomfortable. Our hero then asked her if Thelma would join them at their lunch. She replied that she wasn't because Professor Jihad had called her to his office. The headmaster of Soliminate Academy, Jihad Rondel, used to be a frontline in the war against demons that took place 20 years ago. Since then, he has been considered one of the strongest swordsmen in the world. Our hero gave Iris a cunning smirk when he saw something out of the blue. He noticed that Iris had a cute dog sticker on his bag, which she found unexpected for someone like Iris. With an innocent look at Somiliana's face, she asked them how they met each other. Iris then told her that she noticed him when he sliced through a demonic bear in less than a second. Somiliana feels very ecstatic knowing that the man Iris was talking about last night is none other than him. Our hero then told them that he wasn't that impressive at all, because of his suppressed abilities. That made Iris wonder how he managed to make many blades and still be in the lowest class. He replied, "It's too strong of an attack, that's why he was told not to use it in the academy as it might kill someone." She then asked him, why didn't he join a party? With all honesty, he bluntly told her that no one wants to group with him. Iris gave him a pity look and asked if it was all because of his breakup with Lisa that he couldn't join any party. A look of dismay is very observable on our hero's face. So, he took his leave after hearing the harsh reality. Iris then felt bad for what she said, because she knew that she did something wrong. Things get worse when our hero accidentally bumps into Lisa along with Ken and Lisa's friend named Camilla. With a cold gaze on Lisa's eyes, he asked our hero not to come any closer. Because she couldn't even look him in the eye. Our hero couldn't move an inch due to extreme pain after hearing that, so Lisa along with her friends are the ones who left instead. Because of his frustration, he ran away as far as possible from the academy. He then realized that he was in a messed up situation because he accidentally led himself into the deeper part of the woods. However, he tried to remain calm and stoic, because he just needs to stay hidden for a while for him to be safe. To do that, he needs to build a shelter first and wait for the fog to clear. Something then unexpected happened as he tried to gather his thoughts. When he opened his eyes, he realized that he was under some sort of deserted land. His body started trembling tremendously when he looked up at what was above him. A creature with an overwhelming presence, and a manifestation of absolute power, none other than a dragon. Our hero knew he didn't stand a chance against such a creature, so he ran away as fast as he could to escape the dragon's sight. However, escaping is not an easy feat. With just a simple roar from the dragon, our hero was sent flying. Fear started devouring him because as he fell to the ground he noticed that the hill that the dragon landed on had turned into a crater that could fit the entirety of the academy. With whatever spiritual magic left in him, he decided to use it just to save himself from this nightmarish situation. In the end, he couldn't do it. He lost all of his strength within him, indicating that it is impossible to escape from such a monster. Flashbacks of regrets started occurring within him, as he already accepted that everything is over for him. Just when the dragon was about to give him the decisive blow, someone saved him. It was revealed that the person who saved him was Master Shino. Master Shino noted that she just lost sight of him when the fog started. Yet he was already in a dire situation. The dragon has 5 different colored wings, with a jet black body, implying that the creature is none other than the legendary Dragon King. Chills started occurring inside our hero's stomach as the creature in front of him was the same rumored creature that began eating its own species in pursuit of power. Master Shino pushes our hero and tells him to run away and never look back. Master Shino is struggling, her eyes started deteriorating, indicating that she is on her wit's end. Nonetheless, she doesn't have any regrets, because at the very least she managed to save her student. However, our hero refuses to leave. He took his stance to show his devotion to his master, resulting in him receiving more damage from the process. Our hero's body temperature started decreasing and his body began to be surrounded by the presence of death. Despite of our hero's refusal to die, the rejection of death awakened our hero's power along with stagnant ice inside his heart. He stood up with all of his might, as he wanted to escape this cruel reality. The strong will to live exploded within his veins, as he courageously fought the legendary Dragon King. Our hero's concentration soared until its limit and increased his sense of time. Our hero realized that everything was too slow, including the legendary dragon's movement. He started seeing metal chains surrounding his body which prevented him from moving forward. He concluded that the invisible chains that tied up to his body were the culprits of his suppression. So, by using all of the strength within him, he broke these annoying chains that were hindering him all this time. The metal chains that manifested out of nowhere is a product of the hero's imagination, to which he easily gets a breakthrough. An intense duel between our hero and the legendary dragon occurred. Our hero took advantage of his extreme acceleration to have the upper hand against the dragon. Until it gets to the point the legendary Dragon King has lost sight of him for a split second. The chi within him that had been compressed into a thinner, sharper strand of hair moved at the same speed as how a sword was swung. However, the attack wasn't sufficient enough to cut the dragon's cornea. Our hero knew that a dragon could be slain even though it was considered a spiritual creature. It still possessed a physical body. Tiamat struck the ground with so much force that caused a large earthquake. However, at that moment, the ground crumbled underneath it, because it seems that the Tiamat had stomped through an existing underground cave below. Our hero took advantage of that opportunity to land a strike on Tiamat. However, the Tiamat wouldn't back down without a fight. It proceeded to invoke a spell in the hopes of wiping our hero out. Of course, our brave hero won't let that happen. With this newfound strength of his, he dashes at a high speed toward the vicious dragon. Master Shino assisted our hero with her light in a way that repelled some of the impacts around our hero while also deflecting the light rays, which created a path between our hero and the Tiamat. Our hero is moving at a speed than Master Shino has ever gone to settle the dispute once and for all. The legendary Dragon King got irritated at the puny human's resistance and became unhinged. It started to pour all its power into its 5-colored wings. Master Shino is in awe, yet worried at the same time as she witnesses the seal that has been embedded within Tiamat for a long time. Tiamat, who has been weakened by the sealing process, had become similar to that of an S-rank adventurer. Our hero is adamant on settling the dispute. He slices the scale below Tiamat's throat, resulting in the chi within his blade exploding inside its throat. Using both of his very damaged hands, our hero slashed at the exposed skin. He then proceeded to use the momentum he gained from the first strike to swing his body one more time. The dragon never received such damage in its whole existence. It screamed very loudly, indicating that Tiamat was in a deep state of pain. Despite the damage Tiamat sustained, the great dragon was not yet defeated. With its ground-shaking cry, it helplessly tried to shake our hero off. With all of the power left within him, our hero grabbed his sword, which was tightly wedged into the dragon's body. He concentrated all of his chi into his right arm, announcing that the fight was already at its conclusion. Our hero's final attack ended up blasting the legendary dragon's head off along with the bundle of nerves inside it. Our hero couldn't move an inch after that due to severe exhaustion. However, he had a sigh of relief after knowing that the dragon was indeed dead. When he woke up, he was inside an empty void along with the chains that suppressing him. He looked around the place trying to analyze what happened to him, but he was shocked when he saw something beneath him. It was none other than the legendary Dragon King, Tiamat. However, the look in Tiamat's eyes doesn't have any aggression. Our hero noticed that Tiamat was under the same chain, which gave him a feeling of both empathy and confusion. When our hero woke up, he was greeted by Master Shino, who has been taking care of his wounds for the past 3 days ever since they fought the vicious legendary dragon. Our hero felt like he'd only been unconscious for 10 minutes, but in reality, 3 days had already gone by since then. Our hero couldn't help but to feel relieved knowing that he was still able to spend his days inside Master Shino's plain cabin, which has nothing other than the bare minimum needed for day-to-day life. Our bowed down to Master Shino, implying that he was very grateful for treating his wounds. Seeing him looking fine made Master Shino feel relieved because after all the needless worry he put her through, she could finally gain an assurance that our hero was okay. Come to speak of it, our hero asked her if she sustained any injuries during the fight. Master Shino assured him that she was doing fine. Although she uses too much chi in the process, it is very noticeable that there's nothing to worry about her. Master Shino then gave him a serious look, and stated that after she closely monitored him for the past 3 days, she was able to see something about his current state, which he needed to know. First, she said that he was able to defeat Tiamat inside the sealed world. A world that was created by the dragons in order to seal the Dragon King of Ruin. Although Tiamat himself was considered nothing more than a legend, the tale of the sealed world was even more dubious. Our hero asked how they ended up there. She replied that only a fellow dragon may know the answer to that. Because humans like them wouldn't be able to understand it so easily. 1 week later, our hero along with Master Shino had finally arrived at Alakazam. Our hero couldn't help but to notice that there was something different about Master Shino's treatment towards him. Recently, she's been stumbling her words in a strange way. Also, he felt like that she's trying to show him her caring side. Despite being old, Master Shino haven't been in Alakazam before, as she haven't any reason to visit it anyway. Our hero looked at her and offered to give her a tour of the city. Knowing that he'd been absent without permission for more than a week, they decided to do the tour as quickly as possible. Master Shino's inner child started acting up, as she couldn't help but feel amazed every object that she noticed inside the city. Later on, they arrived at the academy and started parting ways. He rushes quickly in when the morning bell starts ringing, indicating that the classes have started. Before he entered inside, Master Shino asked him to come back to her cabin after his class had ended, as there were still many things she wanted to tell him. Solomonati Academy's final exam got held up. In that exam it has both practical and written exams, and the results of the exam will be the main deciding factor of what rank the student will be placed in next year. When our hero arrived inside the classroom, no one even asked him about his reason for being absent. Not long after that, the morning classes ended. At lunch break, our hero spent his time in front of the staff room, where Professor Henri nags at him for having a consecutive absence. It turns out that she was worried about him, knowing that he spent most of his time alone inside a dark forest. With a sad look at Professor Henry's eyes, she asked our hero why he had not notified her or anyone of his classmates that he had been injured. He stated that his fever was worse than he thought, which prevented him from moving around. In addition, none of his classmates really care about him anyway. Professor Henri starts crying, as he tells her that he doesn't trust her at all. Because of that, she felt like she was an incompetent professor. It turns out that she knew that he was lying. Because the monster he told her that attacked him was the 3 demonic bears, which was defeated by Iris and her party. With Professor Henry's sorry-looking face combined with her seductive gaze, our hero couldn't help but feel mesmerized by her beauty. Meanwhile, Iris with her sister Somiliana and Thelma were spending their lunch together. They talk about what happened last time that made our hero run away. Iris told them that she waited for him at the entrance of the school gate, however, she hadn't been able to see him. Thelma noticed that Iris took a liking to our hero, because never once seen her care this much about a male student before. Somiliana then asked her sister on whether she could invite our hero to her next birthday party. She stated that she wanted to repay him for his kindness after he helped her take her bracelet back. Iris radiantly smiles at her sister and tells her that she will make sure to clear up the misunderstanding, so she can invite him to her next birthday party. In the afternoon class, the practical lesson was held. There, a mock battle was held. Our hero's opponent, of course, is the obnoxious brat Mars Dickon. This time our hero was confident in himself, however, he decided not to release it right away. Because he has a feeling of unease from his dream, and he feels like something will break inside him once he decides to release it. An idea then came to his mind. He wondered if he could use the chi technique he learned from Master Shino instead. As soon as the mock battle began, Mars Dickon immediately went for the offensive. Dickon went for a downward swing from overhead to overpower our hero. However, he managed to block it off easily. So, Mars Dickon decided to follow it up with a horizontal strike on the body. However, the result was still the same. Our hero effortlessly parried the attack. Mars Dickon couldn't believe what was happening. No matter how much effort he puts in through, our hero is easily blocking it, including his most powerful attack. The momentum then shifted towards our hero and gave Dickon an elbow strike on the solar plexus. That irritated him so much, so he decided to use his Dust Wind ability to settle the matter on hand once and for all. However, our hero is knowledgeable when it comes to skills and magic. He knew that the purpose of the ability was to increase the speed of the slash attack the users did. So, he uses proper distancing for him to dodge the Windblade ability. In addition, he was able to read Dickens's one-dimensional attack, resulting in him reading 3 movements ahead. Mars Dickon was baffled. He questioned himself on why his sword never reached him. Our hero is confident with his skill set, however, he couldn't find the perfect opportunity to land a counterattack. Our hero taunted him by simply smiling, indicating that he could finish the fight whenever he wanted. Dickon lost his composure, which gave our hero an opening for a counterattack. Fortunately, Mars Dickon was saved by the bell. However, he was in complete shock when our hero managed to land a blow at him, and to add more insult to injury, he did not land a single hit against him. Professor Henri asked our hero if she could kindly talk with him. Instead, our hero quickly ran as he told her that there was something urgent he needed to do. On the other hand, our hero had started living inside Dickon's mind rent-free. Because he realized that our hero was becoming stronger with each encounter, and he failed to realize that. Until now, that made him wonder, did he become stronger or was he a strong person from the start? Meanwhile, Iris was trying his best to find our hero to talk with him. She then saw him in the hallway, however, our hero seemed to be in a rush for him to notice her. Our hero felt a sudden surge of worry and urgency knowing that Master Shino asked him to return as quickly as he could. Because he thinks that his last fight with Tiamat had some sort of effect on Master Shino. But when he arrived, he saw Master Shino delightfully enjoying the chocolate she bought in the city. Our hero noticed that the chocolate had alcohol inside it, judging from the look of Master Shino's face. Master Shino puts him in an arm lock as she asks him to sit beside her. A very wholesome moment had started occurring between them as Master Shino started rumbling about the country she was born in and her family, saying that she loved them dearly. She also asked our hero about his hometown, family, and other personal information. Although some of those were the things she already knew, she still asked them nonetheless. Seeing his innocent smile made Master Shino very happy. Because even though feels like she is an incompetent teacher, he still cherishes her unconditionally. Master Shino told her that if only her body wasn't suffering from diseases, she was sure that she would live by his side forever. Our hero's eyes widened when Master Shino told him that they would be having their final class. And this time, he will be facing her in a serious battle-to-death duel. Our hero is in a deep state of war shock. He even told her that what she said was a really bad joke. However, judging by the look of Master Shino, he knew that she meant what she said. He told Master Shino to stop this ridiculous act. She immediately stepped in and tried to slit our hero's throat. Our hero easily dodges the attack, however, Master Shino followed it up with a kick, which sent our hero flying. Our hero couldn't grasp this harsh reality, because since then he received a lot of rigorous training from her. However, she never did things that could kill him. Our hero struggled a lot to defend himself against Master Shino's never-ending consecutive blows. As the duel prolongs, the impact of her blow is slowly decreasing. However, her attacks are becoming denser, which shows a difference between his and Master Shino's skills. The situation is getting out of hand because our hero's organs have started turning inside out. Knowing that shallow techniques won't work against her, he decided to do a gamble. He took his iconic stance, implying to Master Shino that he would use his Phantom Blade technique. However, Master Shino had easily cancelled the technique, resulting in him receiving a massive blow on his chest. Our hero's body started trembling from fear. He realized that he wouldn't win against a master swordsman such as her. So, Master Shino gave him a slap of reality, stating that he should release the suppression because once he does that he will win against her. However, our hero is hesitant to do it, because of the dream he saw when he was unconscious. He knew that he had to tear the chains off to win against her, but if he did that he would be releasing Tiamat in the process. Our hero's vision had become dim, the sounds became distant, and his limbs lost sensation as if he were in a cold sea. However, he already accepted his fate, because dying with his master's hand is nothing but an entitlement for him. Master Shino then told him a harsh reality. She stated that she would die very soon. She has a disease called death sleep. She added that the disease started to occur during their fight with Tiamat, which means she only has one more night left in her. Master Shino then told him about her past. She stated that she was betrayed by her sister, resulting in her family abandoning her, so he ran away until she reached this continent. That statement shocked our hero because earlier she just stated how much she loved her family. Master Shino then told him that they were astoundingly similar, because both of them were betrayed by the people they trust. Ever since Master Shino left their household, she felt like a void inside. However, after many years of idling inside the forest, she met our hero, who taught her to keep living until the end. A sorrowful look is very noticeable on Master Shino's face as she asks our hero to fulfill her final selfish request. Our hero was experiencing a moral dilemma because he knew that his master had already chosen her path a long time ago. However, if he tried to convince her to live, he would be going against her wish. He started being furious at himself because he was always running every time things got hard. But this time he couldn't afford to turn his back, or else he would never be able to look her eyes ever again. He then made his decision. Our hero's power had started overflowing through his body to the point that there was a possibility that he would be consumed by his power. Without wasting any time, our courageous hero struck her with all of his might. As they duel, Master Shino insults him by not being gentle with her. She then related it to why a loss like him was abandoned by his lover. While the two were seriously trying to kill each other, they did it in a way where it's like two kids are fighting each other. Our hero uses the seismic toss technique, which is a technique that consists of compressing a chi and then releasing it to blow your opponent away. However, that technique wasn't enough against an expert like her. She told him to give everything he got because he hadn't reached her level of skill at all. Both of them use ritual magic originated from the divine workings of the gods and spirits. Each movement that they did was like a fusion of dance and combat, which also creates the ritual of martial arts. The more the two perform the ritual, the more their power increases. Master Shino couldn't help but recognize that her disciple was indeed strong. In addition to that, she only trained him for 2 years, yet he already mastered her special move. Because of his diligent study, he gained a strong grasp of chi control. Combined with his calm mind and perfect movements, Master Shino knew that he already had a strong magic control. The two of them did their last strike, and only the victor could remain his feet on the ground. The hero won the duel, but rather than celebrating, he immediately approaches his master to check on her. Master Shion smiled at our hero, stating that she had nothing to teach him anymore because he had gotten stronger and exceeded her expectations. With the last remaining breath of her, she told our hero that she was glad that he accepted her selfish request. The scene became very emotional between the two, which made our hero cry as he knew that this would be his final moment with her. Master Shino then told him that running away and standing still is fine as long as he does not ignore reality and continues living. Master Shino never forgets to move forward despite all of the hurdles that he experiences. She added that would be serving as his lantern for moving forward in life. Not long after that very emotional scene, Master Shino lost consciousness. Time skips, and we get to see our hero offering his prayers at his master's grave. With the look in our hero's eyes, it is observable that he's willing to face the problems that have been haunting him ever since his breakup. Our hero had a huge sigh. He was relieved when he got the notice that passed the exam. Our hero is feeling worried because lately, his power is getting out of control, to the point that a single punch had crushed a boulder to pieces. He knew that he shouldn't be releasing his power recklessly because it might result in him destroying both his body and mind. Inside their classroom, our hero received his usual mockery coming from his classmates. But rather than being gloomy, his classmates were in shock when he looked them in the eyes. With a very determined look on his face, he gave everyone a good morning greeting. During the class, our hero couldn't find a group to join with in an upcoming group battle. Our hero knew that even though he tried to talk with other people, they would just ignore him. But then something out of the blue happened. Mars Dickon, a person known for bullying him, approaches him. Everyone in their class was in shock. They told Dickon not to waste his time with a good-for-nothing such as our hero. However, Mars Dickon looked adamant, so our hero joined their group. Not long after that, the mock group battle had started. 2 men grouped up to take on Dickon because for them Dickon is the greatest threat to the group. While our hero was having a duel against the other group, his own teammate hit him. His teammates stated that they could use him as bait instead because they knew that his suppression skill would just hinder them. However, our hero had imposed his skill set. He did everything that he wanted to do as the other group was doing a synchronization attack against him. No matter how much they tried to attack our hero, none worked. So, they decided to sneak behind him to catch him off guard. However, they made a fatal mistake. Dickon arrived and saved our hero from the 2 sneaky students. The group sparring then ended, and the two cronies received a punishment from the head. Mars Dickon already had admitted to himself that our hero indeed had an improvement, especially in his physical strength. Bothered by that unwavering thought of his, Dickon decided to see it for himself. The next day, our hero feels like someone is watching him. However, he doesn't sense any malice or hostility from it. That made him wonder if someone had already discovered his identity as a dragon slayer. He went to an empty place, and it turned out that the one who was stalking him was none other than Dickon. Dickon suddenly swung his sword at him, to which our hero parried easily. That action made our hero very angry, so he asked him for his reason. Dickon replied by stating that he was looking for an answer to his question. Dickon realized that it was pointless to continue the fight any longer, so he apologized for doing such a thing. He gets straight to the point and asks our hero how he learned those techniques. He told Dickon that he had a teacher since they were in their first year and the teacher made him undergo rigorous training. Now it's our hero's time to ask him a question. He stated that he finds it weird for him to attack him just to ask such a question. Dickon then starts fumbling as he tries to say something to our hero. But then, his sister pops into the picture looking very furious. His sister starts nagging at him stating that he needs to stop making trouble because she is the one who experiences the hassles. The woman then introduced herself to our hero and her name was Ina Dickon. Ina apologizes to our hero and offers him dinner at their place. The Dickens family gave him their signature dish, which is a rabbit steak. His mouth started watering just by looking at it. Mommy Dickon felt relieved when our hero told him about his relationship with Mars. She stated that although it looked like that Mars didn't want to come inside their household, she knew deep inside his heart that Mars wished to befriend our hero. Meanwhile, we get to see Mars along with his father having their father and son moment. He gave Mars advice saying that he should apologize to our hero for all the nasty things that he had done to him. At night, Mars Dickon swallowed his pride and apologized to our hero. Although, he wouldn't forget all of the things that Mars Dickon had done to him. Our hero decided to be mature and accepted his apology. Our hero then teases him by saying that it would be rude for him not to accept his apology after her little sister roasted him. With that, our hero had gained a new friend, and what's more, that guy is none other than the guy who used to bully him.